Welcome back, everyone, again to EPAN to the UKB Pod. I'm your host, Drew Pitzer, with my co-host, Josh Carpenter. Join us today, QJ Peterson, 2012 graduate from Hedgesville High School, also played at VMI, scored over 2,200 points there, played in multiple different countries, currently been in China for the last 3 years. QJ, we really appreciate you joining us, my man. You want to take a second to introduce yourself to anybody that doesn't know who you are?
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. QJ Peterson here from Hedgesville. Graduated from Hedgesville High School, like you said, 2012. And thank you for having me on the show.
Yes, sir.
Sure, brother. And obviously we'll go back to 2012 for you. You won a state championship at Hedgesville as a 7th seed. I think you were the only 7th seed that's ever done that and has not been accomplished since. What went into that process of getting that ring? Obviously, you guys lost to Martinsburg a couple of times that year, but still found out you guys could still come out on top and win the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, that year was kind of special. We knew we had the talent to win it all, like regardless of the seeding. The seeding really didn't matter, especially when the majority of us have already been to states at that point in time. Like Joanna had been there at the time, Chris Shields, CJ. Yeah, CJ was even there too as a freshman, but he was there that sophomore year when I was a senior. But so we had like a lot of experience. And so we all believed, especially with the coaching staff that we had, we knew that we were well coached and well organized in terms of scouting teams and things like that. We just, didn't let the seeding really bother us like that. So that was the huge thing for us, I think.
For sure. And kind of like to follow up on that a little bit. Obviously, you guys were top 2 or 3 in the state most of that year, if I do not recall. And playing for Coach Church, you guys had you obviously prepared. But moving forward into your college career, obviously you played at VMI, got to play at West Virginia, you put up huge numbers against the Mountaineers. And what was your college experience like, and how did that prepare you for, obviously your professional career that spanned, well over 8 years now, I believe?
Shoot, you want me to be honest? I ain't gonna
Hey,
lie,
spin it straight with mess
I'm
with us,
about to
man.
say 'cause like for me personally being at military school, that that sucked. I know you had Jake on here, and he talked about how it shaped him and helped him a lot. But I ain't gonna lie to you, like knowing what I know now, like, and I normally don't live life with regrets, and I ain't gonna say it's like a full regret, but like knowing what I know now and knowing how this basketball like stuff works and the politics of it all works, I would have transferred after my freshman year. I'm just being honest with you. Like it was cool, like scoring 2,200
Right.
points and being the guy like at BMI and stuff like that. But I mean, to be honest, like with my situation, like what I needed, was to play at a higher level, whether it was ACC, Big 12, whatever the case was, like not everybody's 7 foot. So in my case, if I was doing that, at the ACC level or even Big 12 or whatever the case is, truth be told, I don't even know if I'd even be here today. Like, you
Right.
know, I don't see why I wouldn't be in the league had I did the same thing on a higher stage. Because when we played those schools, I had the numbers I was supposed to have, but we just weren't winning those games. And of course, NBA guys' mindset is like, well, I can find any 6 foot 6'1" guard that can score just like him or whatever the case is. Especially if I can get it at 6'3" or 6'4" and can do all the same. So
Right.
so really that was just my one thing. I mean, it was cool though, like, having the green light at VMI because truth be told, nobody ever thought I'd go Division 1 anyways around here, but a handful of people anyways. So
I'll tell you what, I was one of those people that I remember seeing you play, and to this day, I consider you and Isaac Thornton as one of the 2 best scorers I've ever seen around here. And again, you at 6 foot 6'1", obviously that turns some NBA personnel off. But I think with your strength, your athleticism, and your speed, if you did play maybe at a bigger time program, it could have worked out a whole lot different. But also, it could have worked out worse. Maybe you play there and maybe you don't get your professional aspects overseas. But I do think it could have helped. But Josh, I'll let you take over and you can ask this next one.
Yeah, I mean it'd be a different story nowadays for sure because it would have been like 1 year at VMI, you would have dipped, went somewhere else, and it would have been a whole different story with the transfers. Like that's how I felt about
mhm.
me and Drew meeting at Salem. Like if I could go back and do it, I would have never even met Drew because I wouldn't have went to Salem. Like I would have went somewhere else. So today, more than ever, like these kids got so many opportunities. Like they're not regretting any decision because they get to make every single decision they want. Like when they're done, they've already done everything they could. I want to ask
Yeah.
you though about high school, man. What's some of the toughest matchups in high school, and who's some of the best players you remember playing against in West Virginia and just like AAU? Like who are some of the best?
Yeah.
Who are the biggest dogs you remember playing against?
I'm just speaking in general, like not around here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
I'll
anywhere.
say
any in
I'll probably
general,
say
bro.
some. I'll say probably some. I'll say like let's see. I played against Noah Cottrell, who went on to play at WVU. Like
Mhm,
I played against him.
mhm.
What's the other guy? He had
You
his
play against
team was
Javon Carter too, right?
no. I didn't play against him.
Williamson, Paul
Yeah,
Williamson.
yeah, because he ended up going WVU I think, and then transferring.
Yeah.
I played against them two my sophomore year. I don't really count my freshman year because if we count my freshman year, it'd be Isaac probably. But I didn't, like I said, I didn't play much. I feel like there was some guy. I say I say Garrett Grantham. He was a dog in his prime for sure. He was
Oh my
tough.
God, best shooter I ever seen live, bro.
Yeah, bro. And it and his prime, he was definitely tough. Trying to think of who else I had like battle.
I mean, you and Buddha used to go at it too a lot too.
Just Buddha wasn't.
CJ would have looked on their team.
Yeah, and it's like I want to throw Buddha in the mix, but I felt like Buddha could have been more dominant had he been more assertive.
Makes
And
sense.
so like, and don't get me wrong, that Martinsburg team was like stacked, and that's no knock against Buddha, but it was like I felt like he could have took the reins more and like, as I might be averaging 35 or 40. Like, I'm not even messing around with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my aggressive mindset though. Like as a scorer,
Mhm,
as like y'all can't mess with me type of thing. So it's like and he has it, I think he has it now, which is why he's still able to keep on playing at the level he is.
Right.
Um, but just like that, if we're speaking in terms of back then, I think he was focused on more so not making people upset versus like, nah, I'm that guy. But I feel like every team
Right.
needs
mhm.
someone to be like, I'm that guy. And it's like
That was definitely
everybody else
you.
gotta
You
everybody
gotta
else
be.
gotta have a role. Well, it's like what's crazy is that like Coach Church even said it. Like that's what helped everything. When you got a coach that's like, no, like he's that guy. He's our guy. Like you screen for him, what get him open. Like he knows to screen for you to get himself up. Blah blah blah. Like whatever. Like, but then like when you got a coach saying, "Nah, this is what I want you doing, or else you're not playing." Simple as that. This is what I want you to do. If you ain't listening to it, if you ain't following it, then you're just not gonna play. And so that's why I think that's what helped us win states is that all through that year we had 12, 15 guys all bought into the same role. But
Right.
shoot, I forgot I played against Akil Carr and AAU. That was when like
You still play
Mhm.
with him too, right? Like I still see you playing out in the Brunson League with him.
yeah, but in high school it was just different. In high school he was way
You know
different.
that
Like
mixtape?
yeah. It was way crazy. So I played against him. I played against it was a lefty guard that went to Georgia. Um it was an AAU tournament. He was something Frazier. I can't
Mhm.
remember his first name, but he was cold too. But and of course in the pro world I done played against some dogs too, but that's another story. But yeah, high school terms, I'll say probably those guys.
For sure. And Josh, I'll let you take over after this one. Obviously you had that run with the Knicks in the G League, not this summer, but last summer where you had multiple games of 20. How close did you feel at that point to actually securing a roster spot? And how did that feel when it didn't end up happening after that?
I felt like so to me personally, when you got every GM of the NBA coming up to you at Vegas and Summer League, uh, you know, telling you that you turning heads and, they didn't know I could defend the way I was. They knew I could score, but They just didn't know about the defensive part and the leadership part. But, once I kinda got out there, at the time, it was the 3rd game. I didn't play the first 2 games, really. I mean, the 2nd game, I played 3 minutes, but, having 6 points in 3 minutes, that, because 'cause you're sitting for 2 hours in a cold gym, so, like, they were impressed by that. So I don't even know how, but then the 3rd game, I got, like, legit minutes. We ended up actually winning the game, and I played a huge part in that one. Just that whole experience of me being positive, they at least thought I was good enough to be on a two-way to where, you know, I'm helping kinda coach and guide the younger guys, but at the same time, like, when their, like, starting point guard goes down, they don't feel like they're gonna lose a step because they can just pull me right up and, they know that I'm gonna produce because they know that my age, they know my experience. I've been playing for, a while now, so they knew it would kinda be nothing for them to make that transition, but my agents at the time dropped the ball on that one. They kinda told them that I wasn't interested and I was going back to China, and at the time, it was, long story short, it was like, when I switched to them, they didn't get paid, but then they wanted to get paid that following year, and they really weren't betting on me like that because they didn't, I guess, fully trust in me. I wasn't like a big enough guy for them, so to say, because I switched to CAA, and CAA is known as one of the hugest agencies
Right.
in the world.
They are.
So I switched to them, and it just, no follow up call happened after I was seeing guys being signed left and right to two ways, and I said, there's no way. Like, there was just no way. Like, either GMs are lying straight to my face or my agents lying, one of the two. But um so that at that point in time, it was my mindset. Like, I wasn't even supposed to play until like the last game of summer league, and the Nick straight up told me that he's like, you probably won't play till the last game of summer league because we got guys in front of you, whatever. I was like, cool, like, I'll just go just for the experience because you never know, like, if it's gonna be my one and only time. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it regardless. And so I just killed in training camp, and I didn't really focus on it, and I just tried to make it as hard on them as possible for them not to play me. And luckily, like, some guys went down with injury, and I mean, that's not luckily, but because I
But for
don't want
you, it
them.
is. We get it.
Yeah, I don't want them being injured, of course. But I was able to step right in and kind of shine, and with the two 20-point losses helped my case a little bit because Tibbs was like, we still don't want to get embarrassed in summer league. Like, if you got somebody that can play, and help us win, then play them. And so that's when I got my shot. But yeah, that whole, I don't regret it at all. But I just wish the opportunity was capitalized on because there's no telling whether or not I could have stuck in the league or not, at least for a year or two. But you know,
At least get your chance. I feel that.
Mhm. But it was, like,
Yeah,
kinda out of my hands in that part, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And for it to be relied on to somebody else is just, it's tough, but that's the business of it, though. So it's like you gotta have
For
agents
sure.
that
Josh.
trust in your game and know what they doing.
for sure. I wanted to ask, like, in those games in college where you might be playing a big name school, and like, we don't really have the guys to beat these teams. Like, were you frustrated in those games? How did you approach those games? Because I had a lot of games just like in high school and even my year with Drew in college. I'm like, man, like, what can I even do to win these games? Like, it was the most frustrating part. Like, what can you do in those games to help your team win when like, how can we even win, bro?
Yeah. So my thing is like, it ain't even basketball really. It's just control what you can control. Like, going into a game,
Mhm.
always think you're gonna win, of course. Like, yeah, part of you is like being realistic, but you should always think you're gonna win the game, of course. And then, worst case scenario, like, because sometimes I had to do it in high school, where it was like maybe some guys were scared or weren't showing up or didn't think whatever, and you know you can inspire through your play. Like, they see you playing hard, and it's like they see you scoring, getting stops, rebounds, whatever. Like, kind of showing them like, look, man, it don't really matter. And so, like, a lot of times, like in college,
Mhm.
for me, like, although, like, do I want to win? Yes, of course. But at the end of the day, too, though, like, you don't want to make yourself look bad either. So it's like you got
Exactly.
family and everything else. So it's like, hey, like, if I ain't gonna win the game, like,
You gotta get
yeah,
yours.
yeah. And I mean, and it may sound
Precisely.
selfish, may not, like, but at the end, I ain't trying to look bad. Like, y'all can go ahead and look bad and
Mhm.
look like y'all quit or not trying, but I ain't got to be a part of that. So it's like you can either follow behind me and make yourself not look bad and your family not look bad, or you can just like lay down and just do what you're gonna do. And so that like sometimes I get labeled as a bad teammate because of that. Because like when I see that, it's like why am I gonna want to play have you on my team? Like, why I want you beside me if I know that like everything is good when we playing a sorry team, but like when it's a tough game, tough competition, people talking shit to you, and it's like you just bowing down, like, all right, like, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? So, a part of this
It's
pride
accountability.
and
Like
ego is
Exactly.
just
you live off of that.
yeah, yeah. And so, but it's like I wouldn't have got to where I am today if it wasn't, you know, for that. So.
For sure.
I'm
Sure,
kind of
Josh.
I'm thankful for it.
What do you think the main differences are in like USA grown men professional competition and then all the other places you played overseas?
Um, honestly, it's skill. Like a lot of it is just skill
Yeah.
based and style of play. Because it's like I go to Turkey, it's more organized, more role defined. I play here, it's kind of one on one pick and roll. There's plenty of space to operate, but everybody's athletic. Everybody can shoot. Sometimes you have guys overseas that can't shoot, and some places it's just a show. Like a good bit of places, like they want to see a show, but they want you
Entertainment.
to, yeah. I mean, and you know, some places are just like that, like which ain't nothing wrong with it, but that's just like you're just playing the game. Really, you gotta know how to adapt to each one of them. So,
I feel that, bro. And I guess that leads into the next question. Obviously, you've had a great career by any means and standards. How much longer do you anticipate yourself playing, and do you still think you might get that shot to actually play a game in the NBA?
I mean, I highly doubt like the NBA have like something crazy might like what had to happen. Like I would probably have to shoot. I probably had to average 40 and probably shoot 50, 50, 98, like, or something crazy. Like, I'll have to do something so crazy, like in
Yeah.
China, in order for me to get my shot in the league. But if I went to like Europe or like Euro League or something like that, and I just average, 19 or 20 on, 50, 39 or 40 with, 6 assists and I'm playing defense and stuff, my chances get a lot better. But I'm turning 31. So that's always like the kicker because they always want, young
The
guys,
age.
which is like a lot of those young guys don't pan out. If you ever notice, like 90 to 95% of them don't pan out. Like
No, that's right.
you have guys overseas that's ready to play in the league, but they don't want to give those guys a chance because of age, whatever the case may be. And, because they just want to groom them it's like a project. And I'm like, well,
Mhm.
why don't you go for a complete one that understands the game and that is mentally, physically ready for the NBA, for that grueling schedule, um, versus a young kid that you're trying to develop and hopefully it pans out. Like you don't know. So I don't know. It's up in the air and it's tough. Like it's tough to say. What I would love for it to happen, and I do whatever it took to make it happen. Because I know if I ever got a game in the league where it was like legit minutes, I know I could contribute and show like my value coming off the bench or starting, whatever the case is.
Right.
Yeah.
Josh?
Yeah, the last one for me, I just wanted to ask, like, what was it like playing the TBT? What was that experience like? you plan to do that in the future, and how you think you could how you think a team wins in the TBT? Like, is it completely different? Is it more like pickup ball? Like, what's that experience like? Especially like, what was it like for you this year?
For me this year, man, I felt like it was kind of tough this year because it felt like some guys wanted to play, some guys didn't want to play. Like some guys are in shape, some guys aren't in shape. Like some just like it was just tough. Like because like I feel like the good teams that win it, they end up playing unselfish. But then it's like some of the teams that lose, it's like individual and they just want to get the highlight tape on Instagram or whatever the case is. And
They don't want the
um
money for real.
yeah, nah, they don't. Like some of them don't. And so it's tough also having guys buy into a role, especially like when everybody's a pro, because of course everybody wants to play every minute and and have like that shine, so to say. But um this year was just a little bit different for me because it was an Indiana team. And I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm from Indiana, but I got a lot of family out there, so I visit there a good bit. My brother who passed away, he always wanted to go there, but and it just worked out. I knew the GM and the head coach because I played for both of them before on a different TBT team, and so this go around was totally different. But but I think guys like some guys were just there for the ego stroke from Indiana
Right.
fans and like living in that like moment, like reminiscing on the old days, kind of say. And it wasn't really much focus on winning the game and like winning the whole thing. So I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, I ain't make myself look bad, you know. So the guys like that went out
Exactly.
there, like they looked bad, and it is what it is. I mean, I don't know if I'll do a TBT again in the future. I say this every year, but um, I don't
You'll
know.
be
I mean,
back.
I know, yeah, maybe. I know West Virginia asked me. Well, West Virginia has asked me the past few times, and I just haven't because I was like, people have asked me before them, and so it just happened that way. But
Right.
well, we'll see. TBT is fun. It's meant to be fun. So
Yeah, for
Right.
sure.
And this is really my last question for you, bro. Obviously, and you allude to the fact, you do turn 31 here in the next couple months or so. Obviously, your type of game though can really last, until you're probably 37 to 40 years old, maybe not on the type of prolific level that you're used to. Are you going to be the type of guy that plays it till the wheels fall off, or the moment you think that you're done with it, you'll actually be done with it?
I don't know. I feel like part of me wants to ride it till wheels fall off. However, I don't. I feel like when that happens, like injuries happen. But I don't know. We'll just have to see. Cause I mean, I don't have any plans on slowing down anytime soon, and I'm pretty good at adjusting my game everywhere I go. It just, I think I'll stop when my kids say, Dad, we want you home. We don't want you playing it. I think
Right.
that's when I stop. Um, so I guess we'll see what they say. But until then, I'm gonna keep on hooping.
For sure. For sure, man. And
So
again, we wish you the best of luck here from the EPAN to the UKB pod. Obviously I got to grow up watching, got to play
yeah.
against you once. And it's always been a blast, to watch you play. And I say don't give up on that NBA journey just because I think you're definitely an NBA level scorer. I don't think there's any question about that. And maybe the dominoes might fall on your way eventually. So keep up the hard work, man. We're
Thank you.
proud of you out throughout the state. And hopefully next year you play for Best Virginia and TBT because you might be what lifts them over the edge, man.
Or play
Thank
against
you.
them and beat their ass.
Think he's gonna say that. He's a hater,
Nah, we
bro.
go.
He's a hater.
Why?
Nah, I support
Nah,
I
we.
support them all, man. I support them all.
Nah, we'll see though. We'll see. Man, I'm mad. I missed out on the alumni game this weekend. I was low key kind of mad, but
Y'all
I
probably would
was,
have won it if he was back again.
I was, I was, I was out of town like with family, and so it was kind of one of those situations where it's like family time or an alumni game. We were like, I think she'll like
That's
family
what it's
time
family
better.
time,
So,
bro. You already got
so
one. You know what I mean? You already won one, so
yeah.
you ain't got nothing left to prove.
Yeah, I mean, and
Yeah,
truth be
true.
told, I mainly only play in the alumni games solely for the kids around here, just to give them something to look up
They
to.
love it, dude.
Just like, hey man, like just grind. It's gonna be a process. It's gonna hard work. Like you're gonna have to work 4 or 5 times just as hard just to get out of here because we aren't a sports state. That's the reality of it. We aren't a sports state. And so like me playing in that kind of, I feel like it gives them hope at times, but I don't know. Still see a lot of kids playing
It does.
video games.
No, I think you're perfectly right. Like when you were
Hey.
there the last year, seeing all the kids front row, that's what changed it
Mm-hmm.
for
I'm
sure. But
about to say, side
again,
note,
we
hey,
really,
let's go ahead and get a petition started. Martinsburg is no longer allowed in the alumni game. They lost in the first round back-to-back years. That's my troll to Martinsburg. As much as they be talking crazy saying they gonna win it.
they're 0-3. They ain't won one in 3 years.
Hey,
We beat them the first
okay,
year by 20.
0-3. But hey, they petition it. We're petitioning it. I ain't gonna lie to
I
you.
got you,
That's
brother.
great.
I know they gonna see. I know
That's
they'll see
great.
that, and they gonna get
They
all
gonna be
upset.
sick, man.
They gonna be all right
Yeah,
though.
brother,
It's all
for sure,
love.
dog. Well, we really appreciate you joining, my man. Again, this is
Yes,
QJ
sir.
Peterson, the professional star, state champion from Hedgesville, West Virginia, and also 2,200 points at BMI. We thank you so much for joining us, man. And you have a great rest of your day, and good luck this season, my guy.
Yes,
Yes,
sir,
sir.
man.
You
Nice to
too.
meet you, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank
Yep,
you,
sir.
bro.
likewise.